Hi everyone! In today's video, I wanted to show you how I did this summer design. Plus, I'm going to be using a bunch of acrylic colors. But before we start, make sure that you prep well the nails. And since I'm using a plastic hand, all I can really do is file them. And now that I have that done, I'm going to start getting the form ready. For today's video, I'm going to be doing square nails. But before I start doing that, I'm gonna do these cuts on the side that you guys know I like to do because they serve me as a guide for me to apply the acrylic. Today's video, I'm gonna use a bunch of colors because I'm gonna be doing a lot of ombre nails. But I'm gonna start with this red acrylic powder that I think that is so pretty and it's gonna go really good with our design because it's very neon and it reminds me of summer. But here what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create the tip of the nail and it's going to be pretty long. It's going to be kind of near the L. Now that I have the first step done, I'm going to start doing the ombre, and I like to use this very pretty neutral pink because I feel like it's going to go really well with all of the colors. And what I'm doing here is that I'm creating liquid beads. And that helps me push them down and kind of create this type of ombre. And once I'm done doing that, of course, I'm gonna apply some pressure on the sides because this is gonna make my nail look more natural. And for this second nail, it's going to be a little bit different because here I'm not gonna be doing ombre nails. I'm going to be creating acrylic nail just like I would usually do it. The first thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to apply the bead between the natural nail and the form. And I'm going to use this to create the square shape. And once I have that done, I'm going to apply the second one. And here I'm going to make sure that I cover everything up. And once I have that done, of course, I'm gonna wait a couple seconds until the nail is dried enough for me to apply some pressure on the sides. When you guys are doing square nails, make sure that the form is completely straight because otherwise what can happen is that your nail can end up going downwards or it can end up looking a little bit crooked. For this third nail, I'm gonna use this really pretty neon green. And here I'm going to be doing the exact same thing that I've been telling you about. I'm going to create the tip of the nail. And once I have that done, I'm going to start applying the pink acrylic. And here what I'm going to do is the exact same thing that I've been telling you about. I'm going to create liquid beads for me to have time to kind of melt these two colors together. You want to make sure that these two colors mix very well, otherwise the ombre nail is not going to look the way it's supposed to. And once I have everything done, I'm going to apply some pressure on the sides, of course. And for this last nail here, I'm going to use this really pretty purple acrylic. And I'm gonna be, first I'm gonna create the tip of the nail. And like you guys can tell, I like to push the acrylic upwards because I feel like it makes the ombre look more natural. And now that I have the first step done, I'm gonna start applying the pink acrylic. And like you guys know, I'm gonna keep pushing it downwards until both colors melt together. And to finish up, of course, I'm gonna apply some pressure on the sides. And this is how these acrylic nails look like. They are not perfect, but that's why filing is such an important step. When I file nails, what I like to do is that I start filing the sides. And since these are square shaped nails, I'm gonna put the file completely straight to make sure that the sides are not curvy. And now that I have the sides done, I'm gonna start filing the surface. And actually here some of the clips got deleted, so sorry about that. But I'm gonna use my e-file, and here what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna keep filing these nails down until they are pretty thin. And also I'm gonna make sure that there's no bumps left behind because otherwise the design can end up looking a little bit strange. And this is how the nails look like. Now everything is done and we're ready to do the design. Before we start, make sure that you clean off the nails because after filing, there's always going to be some dust left behind. And if we don't take that off, that can make our design look a little bit dirty. For today's tutorial, since I'm going to be doing a bunch of little hearts, I'm going to be using this very thin brush because it's going to help me create the lines. And before I start doing the hearts, I'm going to use this white gel polish. Since I'm going to be using a bunch of different colors, I wanted to use something light like this for the base color. And I'm only going to be applying it on this nail. And of course, since it's a gel polish, I'm going to cure it for 30 seconds. Just like I told you before, I'm going to use this very thin brush to create the hearts. And this time, I'm not going to be using gel polish. I'm going to use gel paint because I think that it's a lot thicker and it's going to be a lot easier for me to create these hearts. The first thing that I'm going to do is create this yellow heart in the middle of the nail. When you guys do this step, make sure that the heart is not too big because otherwise you guys are not going to have time to apply the rest of the colors and it's going to be a little bit complicated. And since this is a gel paint, I'm going to cure everything for about 1 minute. I recommend you guys to keep curing each color because otherwise what can happen is that they can all mix together and the design can end up looking a little bit like a mess. After using the yellow, I applied dark pink and I went over the heart. What you guys have to make sure here is that everything is symmetrical and I don't know if you guys can tell, but I made the dark pink be a little bit chunky and that's what I'm trying to do with this light pink that I'm doing right now. Like you guys can tell, I'm trying to make all the hearts be as symmetrical as possible because otherwise it can end up looking a little bit strange. You guys know that I like mixing opposite colors, so now that I'm done with the pinks, I'm gonna go and use this really pretty light green. And when I create these hearts, what I like to do is that first I make kind of a thin line that goes over the heart, and then little by little I keep applying more gel paint and I make them as chunky as they need to be. Because if you try to do it all at once, it might be a little bit hard. And now that I'm done with the light green, I'm going to do the exact same thing, but with this really pretty light purple. And to finish up, I'm going to use this orange that I actually mixed with a little bit of yellow, so that's why it looks this way. And here what I'm going to do is that I'm going to cover every tiny little spot that I have left on the nail. And of course, once I'm done doing that, I'm going to cure everything for about 60 seconds. And this is how the design ended up looking. I love how the hearts turned out. I think that it looks so pretty. And I love all the colors that I added. I think they look perfect for summer. But we're not completely done yet because we have to add a little bit of top coat, which is one of my favorite parts when I'm doing ombre nails. Because like you guys can tell, it makes the colors show up even more and you can really see how they ended up mixing. And of course, I'm gonna apply a little bit of this top coat on all of the nails, especially on this second one because it's not only gonna add a really pretty shine, but it's also going to protect all the designs that we've done. And I'm gonna keep applying it on the rest of the nails. And since this is also a gel polish, I'm gonna cure everything for about 60 seconds. And this is how the final design ended up looking. I think that the top coat added a really pretty shine. I know that doing this type of ombre nails can seem a little bit difficult, but it's all about practice. Just remember to do liquid bits. I hope you guys liked this tutorial. If you did, please subscribe and like this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!